ඕගලන්ට ක්ලියර්ද? ක්ලියර් නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් අත උසවන්න බලන්න. මිස් ඒගොල්ලන්ට ක්ලියර් වගේ නේද ඔක්කොටම?
ඔව් ඒක තමයි. හෑන්ඩ් රේස් කරන්න පුතේ එහෙම ක්ලියර් නැති කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ වගේ නේද?
නෑ වගේ ඒක තමයි. හරි හරි. thank you මිස්. හරි.
හරි තමයි. Right. Yes. Now there is a display that is a frame. Then you find the nth term. You find the number of students in the 7th circle. Then you know that is 7th term. Right. Then what are the formula that we use to find that nth term? The sum of first 10 terms. First term, common difference, number of terms, last term. Okay, those are the terms that we discussed here. Right. Then what are the formula? Then what is the suitable one? Right. Then you have to apply the suitable formula to find the 7th term. 7th term. Then what is the number in the 7th term? Eka modify කරන එක මේකට ඇඳලා තියෙනවා. You find how many students are there in the 7th circle in this display. Right. Then you can use here 5, 7, 9, right? That arithmetic progression to find the 7th term. Right. 7th term. Then first you write this formula. Then you substitute the values to these unknown terms, right? A plus n minus 1b, right? Then 7th term means n equals 7. Then what is the first term? That is 5. 7 minus 1, 6 times 2. 5 plus 12, that is 17, right? That is 17. Then in the 7th term, right, there are 17 students, right? Then what is the next question? Find the maximum number of circles. Then you find these circles, the number of circles. You find the maximum number of circles, right? Maximum number of circles that can be positions such that the last circle consists less than 45 students. That is not equals to 45. Then here you get that is less than 45 students, right? You find the number of circles. Then you have to use the same formula, right? But here we have to build up the inequality. That is not the equation here, right? Then under this situation, then we have to use the inequality, right? Now that the number of students that is less than 45. Then how you write this the inequality here? Then that is always smaller than, this is greater, the smaller than 45. A plus n minus 1b, right? Now you can find the value of n, right? 45 greater than the first term of this arithmetic progression is 5. Then we already substituted that 5 plus n minus 1, b is 2. The common difference is 2. Then 45 greater than 5 plus 2n minus 2. Then 45 greater than 5 minus 2, 3 plus 2n. Then you move this 3 to the other side, so it becomes negative 3. 45 minus 3 is 42. Greater than 2n. Then you can divide both by 2. Then we can use the same axioms that we used to solve the equation, right? Then 2 get cancelled. remaining n, this is 21. Yes. Then what is the most suitable value for this n? That is, what does it mean? N is smaller than 21. Here, n is smaller than 21. And remember, this n always is a positive whole number. That is a positive whole number. It cannot be a fraction, cannot be a negative. Either. That must be a positive whole number. Why? That is a number of terms, number. Then you can count it 1, 2, 3. We cannot count it as 1, 1.5. Then you know that the number of students in your class, how many students there. That is a whole number, always. Right? 1, 2, then you can count it. Can we count it as 1, 1.5, 2, 2 and 1/4? No. You get that positive whole number. And n is a positive, always positive whole number. Right. Then, what is the suitable value? Then what is the closest one? What is the closest value of n less than 21? Again, the positive whole number less than 21. That is 20. Now n equals 20. Right. Then there are 20 circles. There are 20 circles in this drills display, right, in a college. Okay, that is n equals 20. Right. Next one. Right. Now let's see what is this third one.
Okay.
Right. පුතා මයික්ස් මොනවා හරි ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් මම දැන් මියුට් කරන්නේ නැහැ. මොනවා හරි ක්වෙස්චන් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක හෑන්ඩ් රේස් කරන්න. එතකොට මම ඔයාලට දාන්න බොක්ස් එක chat box එකට. එහෙම ඩිස්ටර්බ් කරන්න එපා. Right. Yes. Next one. Find the total number of students who wore white costumes in above circles. Right, white costumes. Then there are two different circles, two different colors. Right, the students, those who wear this, two different colors. The black one represent blue color. The unshaded one represent white color. Right, when we get it separately, right, again you can make the arithmetic progressions. Two different arithmetic progressions. Then altogether, there are three different arithmetic progressions. Right? Then the first one, then when we consider that the students who wear that blue color, right? Then what is the arithmetic progression there? Right? In the first circle, right? Here, that is represent blue. Right. Then how many students are there in this smaller one? The smallest one? There are 5. Right. Next one, then you know that these circles are located. Right. That means that falls into except one. Then right. Then you have to find the difference between that the consecutive terms, the students in the separate circles, right? Then in the next one, the other one here, there is the students wear white color costumes. The Metamai, I am blue and the right. How many students are there? Here is 5, this is 7, that is 9. Right, that is 9. Then the difference here is 4. The difference of that 2 is 4. Right, and next, then you have to add 4, that is 13. That is the arithmetic progression. Right, then the other one, the students who wear the white color costumes, right, that is starting from here. Right, there are 7. Then that is the first term of that. Right, again that is increasing by 4. The difference of that the two successive terms is 4. That is 11, 15 ml. Right, and in the first one, in the first blue, the second again white, third blue, in a 4 white. So the බලන්න ඒකේ තියෙන type එක Maintain odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7, or even numbers are blue, white color 2, 4, 6, 8 again. So the first you have to identify the difference of these two patterns, right? Okay. Now what is this question? Find the total number of students wore white color costumes in the above circles. Now, how many circles there are? How many circles in this drill display with students, right, wearing white color costumes? Then how you find the number of circles? Now, you know that there are 20 some circles in this whole display. There are 20. There are 20 circles, right? Then there are 20 and you can divide them. 1, 3, 5, 7. Then what is the last term that we have found? You got here. That is 19. That is 19. And here that is 20. The last circle in the color of the white. This is white. Right? ඊට කලින් 19th one එකේ තියෙන්නේ that is blue. ඉතින් මේක divide වෙනවා. From 1 to 19 there are 10 circles. From 2 to 10 also 10 circles. Right? Then how many circles are there? How many circles in this display with the white color students? Right. එතකොට එන්නේ 10. Then you find the number of circles first. Then you divide it by 2. There are 20, then there are 10 circles. Then you can find the total number of students who wore these white color costumes. Okay, right. That to find the total number of students. Again, the total number of students in these 10 circles. Then you have to select the most appropriate one. චුට්ටක් mics off කරගන්න පුතා. mics off කරගන්න.
මේ අපේ මයික්ද?
ඔව් මයික්ස් ඕෆ් කරගන්න මේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔව් එහෙම කතා කරනකොට ඩිස්ටර්බ් වෙන නිසා right. Then you use that the formula that is Sn to find the sum of that students in that circles. Right? So the sum එකක් හොයන්න ඕනේ. You to find the total number of students. Then that is equals n upon 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. Right. Then that is the most appropriate formula to find the number of students in 10 circles. Right. Then S 10. 10 divided by 2. 2 times the first term of that. Yes. Now you get that. The circles, right? You consider the circles, those who in the students, those who wear that white color costumes, right? Then how many students, right, in this first circle? This is the first circle, right? Then සුදු ඇඳගත්ත පළවෙනි circle එක ඉන්නේ මෙතන. Right? Then you find the number of students. Then we already found it. That is 7. That is the first term of this number pattern. Right? Then you substitute 7 for this A plus 10 minus 1, 9. D is 4. The common difference is 4. Right. Then here is 5. 14 plus 36. 5 times, that is 50. Then how many students are there? 250. Right? Then that is the number of students. Right? The white color costumes. Right. Next one. Using the answer in the third above, calculate the total number of students who wore blue color costumes. Then you find the remaining number of students. Right? There are 2 methods. Then first we can find the total students, the total number of students in this whole drill display. Then you can find the total number of students. Then we can subtract the students who wear the white color costumes. That is the first one. And the other one, then you can subtract, that is 10 circles again, right? And that is the difference of that always is 2. Right? Then by multiplying it 10 by 2, then you can subtract that value from 250. Right? Then you can use these 2 methods. Right? Then the first method, then you find the total number of students in this display. S 20 circles there. 20 upon 2. Now we get that the 5 as the first term. Right? 2 times 5 plus 19 times 2. Right. This is 10. 10 plus 38. Then 38 plus 10, 48. 48 times 10, 480. Then this is the total number of students in this display. Then you can subtract 250 from 480. Then how many students there are with blue color costumes? That is 230. Right, okay. Now let's move to the constructions. The next one's related to the construction. Right. Now what is that? Okay, now listen to me. Then you have to use only the straight edge and the pair of compasses. And you represent that the constructions lines clearly. හරියටම තියෙන්න ඕනේ, පේන්න ඕනේ, arcs එහෙම ලොකුවට අඳින්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. Then you put that, you draw this small arcs නැත්නම් ලොකුවේ වැන්දාම clear නැති වෙනවා. ඒකින්ද චුට්ටක් පැහැදිලිව බලන කෙනාට පේන්න අඳින්න ඕනේ. Right. Then construct a line segment AB 9.5. Right. Then using your pair of compasses, right? Then you draw this line. AB. The length of that is 9.5 centimeters. Right. Next one. Construct a semicircle with AB as the diameter. Name the center as O. Right. Now you construct the semicircle. Right. Then how you find it? You got another ruler. Then you measure that the midpoint of that 9.5. Then you can draw the semicircle. Is it correct? No. Then there is the specific construction. Then you complete that first. Right? To find the center, then anyhow, you find the center of this straight line. To draw the semicircle, you find the center there. Right. And then center is the midpoint of that AB. Now to find the midpoint of that AB, that we have to construct the perpendicular bisector. You construct the perpendicular bisector of AB. Right. Now first you construct that one, that locus. Then you draw these two intersecting arcs on either sides of this AB. Like this. Right, then you can join. Right, then you can find the center here. Right, the midpoint of that AB, that is the center. Right, now we name it as O. This is O, the length of this is 9.5. Right, now you can take OA as the radius and you draw a semicircle. That is a semicircle. Right. The radius of that is AO. Right. That is a semicircle. Next one. Mark the point C on the semicircle such that AC equals 8.5. Construct the tangent to the circle. Right. Then AC, now you have to take 8.5 centimeters to the pair of compasses. And you have to place that iron end at this point A. And you draw an arc to cut this semicircle. Right. Right. Then the distance between these two is 8.5. That is 8.5 centimeters. You name this as C. Right. And you construct the tangent at point C. Right. Then how you construct this tangent? Then I think that we have completed it, right? Then how you construct the tangent at the through a point on the circle. Then first you have to join that center on the circle, I mean that on the circumference and the center, right? First you join these two, right? Then you have to produce it. Then here is the center. Now you join this O and C and you produce it to extend the line. And you leave that iron end at this point C and you draw an arc on either sides of that point C, like this. You draw these two arcs. And from these two arcs, then you draw two intersecting arcs. Then no need to draw that in on either sides of this line, right? Let's say on that one side. Then you can join. Right, then you can produce it. That is the tangent. You know that the tangent is always perpendicular to the radius. Right, ඒක තමයි අපි මෙතන පාවිච්චි කරපු දේ. Right, ඒකයි OCO join කරන්නේ. Right, to find the radius of that circle. Then we constructed perpendicular at C to the radius. That is called the tangent of a circle. Okay, next one, at the point C and mark the point that it intersects the produced AB as E, produced AB. This is E, right. Next, construct a parallel line to AB through C, right. First you construct a parallel line. Then you can use that, you can draw these parallel lines using three methods. Then what are they? First, using the features, the characteristics of that the parallelogram. And the other one using the alternate angles and using the corresponding angles. And using the characteristics of the parallelogram. Right. Then you can use any other method of these three. No, that one of that method of these three, right? Okay, there is no any other methods. Then you can draw these. You can draw these parallel lines using these three methods, right? මං හිතන්නේ alternate angles එක lazy, right? Then you know that is Z. Then you can make this angle equals to that OAC at C, right? Then you have to copy this angle at C. So my alternate angles equal now. You know that if these alternate angles are equal, that two lines are parallel. Okay. Now you construct, then you have to copy this OAC angle at C. Then how you copy that angle? Then you draw an arc to cut these two lines. And with the same distance, you place iron in at this C and you draw an arc to cut this OC. No, sorry, AC. This is the line we can see here. Right. Then you draw an arc. Now you get the distance between these two intersecting points. Right. And you leave the iron in that here and you draw an arc to cut the former arc. Now you can join. You produce it. Then this is parallel to AB. That is parallel to AB. Right. Then construct a parallel line to AB through C. Then we already drawn. Mark the point it meets the semicircle as D. This is the intersecting point. That is D. Show that BCE. B, you join this line. You join these 2 points using a straight line. BCE. BCE, this one. Then what is that angle? That is the angle between a tangent and a chord, right? At the point of contact, drawn at the point of contact, I mean the tangential point. This is the angle between a tangent and the chord, right? Equals to ACD. So that BCE equals ACD. Right. Now how we show that? Then Then show that you prove that. Hey now, you have to find this relation, right? Without measuring. Without using your protractor. Measure karanna thahana. Then you show that using the specific theorem, you prove that these two angles are equals, not measuring. So we cannot use this any instruments to find these two angles are equal, right? Then using the specific theorem, you have to show that these two angles are equal. Etana prove karanna තියෙන්නේ, right? Yes. Then here is the angle. Right. Now here is the circle. That is a part of a circle. Semicircle. Right? That මොකක්ද කියන්න පුළුවන්. Then can you remember the angles in the alternate segment? Right. Now here actually this is a chord. And here is the angle between the tangent and the chord. You know that is equals to angles in an alternate segment. Alternate segment. Right. Now here when we get this tangent, this is the alternate angle you can get. This is the alternate angle, right? Then the angle in the alternate segment with respect to this angle. Right, with respect to this angle. Then you know that according to the theorem, these two angles are equal in magnitude. Right. Then these two are equal. This one and this one. Right. But then you can write. Then first you write BCE equals OAC. Reason, you write mention the reason there. What's the reason? The angles in an alternate segment. But this OAC equals DCA, ACD, these two. Right? These two lines are parallel, then the alternate angles. Therefore, then according to the axioms, you write, therefore, BCE equals ACD. Right. Then you can prove this relation. Okay. Next one. Right. There is a figure, two solids there. Right. A solid cone with radius and height R is carved away from a solid right circular cylinder of base radius R and the height 3R. Show that the remaining volume of the cylinder is given by 8/3 phi R cube. Right? Then you show that. Yes. Then the logarithm one is separate one. හැබැයි මං කිව්වා එදාත් මං දැක්ක කැමිල් පේපර් එක දාලා තිබ්බ සපෝට් සෙමිනර් එක substitute කරන්න තිබෙත්තේ. Then to find using the logarithmic table, then you have to substitute the numerical value for the given formula. Then you find the volume or the radius or the area. එහෙම දීලා තිබ්බේ. Right? බලමු එහෙම කරන්නේ එක. Okay. Then the remaining portion. After removing this, the portion, then you show that the remaining volume, right, gives this 8/3 phi R cube. Right. Then how you find it? Then you find the remaining volume. You find the difference of these two volumes. Then you write down it separately. එවනත් එක ලකුණ හම්බෙනවනේ. දැන් equation එක තමයි අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලාම ලියන්න ගන්න. දැන් marking scheme එකේ තිබ්බහම මේවට ලකුණු තියෙනවා. මොනවාටද? To find the volume of the cylinder 1 mark. ලියනවට 1 mark. Volume of the cone 1 mark. Then to build up the equation 1 mark. All together 3. Then you write them separately. Right? And 2 weeks, 1 week. Right, 2 weeks. Right. Then you write it. First you write that 2 statements. Then you build up the equation. Right? Okay. Then what is that? Then you can substitute. Then you can make the equation. Right. Then what is the area or the volume of the cylinder? 5r squared in h minus 1/3 of 5r squared h. Those are h1, h1, right? Then different terms. Now you can substitute. Find the radius of this cylinder is r. r squared. The height of this cylinder is 3r minus 1/3 of 5 r, the same radius, height also r. Right. Then find the difference here. 3 5r cube minus 1/3 5r cube. Then you can simplify these fractions. First you remove that. Then you make this 3 as the common denominator. You should multiply this 3 by 3. Right? This whole number in this next term. Then 3 times 3, 9. 5r cube minus 5r cube upon 3. That 3 is a common denominator. Right. Then you can make it as a common denominator. Right. Then this is 9 minus 1. That is 8 5r cube upon 3. As a fraction, as an improper fraction. That is common to all that 3. Yes, then you get 8 upon 3 5r cube. Yes. Then monkey මෙන්න මේවට substitute කරන්න දෙනවා. logarithms දැන් ගිය අවුරුදු දෙකේ මෙහෙම තිබ්බේ නෑ. 2000 COVID වලට කලින් ඒ කියන්නේ 2020 වල කලින් තිබ්බේ එහෙම from 2016 to 2020 තිබ්බේ substitute values. And 2001 and 2002 තිබ්බේ මේ වගේ separate logarithmic එකක්. ඉතින් මේ පාඩම දැන් support seminar එකේ අර විදිහට තිබ්බේ තාම English medium දාලා නැහැ. දැන්ම ගම ඔයගොල්ලෝ බලන්න NI එකේ නැත්නම් support seminar ගිහුවාම ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එනවා අනිවාර්යෙන් tape එක චුට්ටක් බලන්න අය අපිට හම්බෙන්නේ නැහනේ. කොහොමද ලං වෙලා තමයි tape එක දාන්නේ. ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඒක study කරන්න හොඳට. Right? You complete all that questions in that paper. Right? එතකොට මෙන්න මෙහෙම කරන්න ඕනේ. Right? That volume equals 8 upon 3 5r cube. Then if you are asking to find the volume, remaining volume of this solid, right, using the logarithmic tables, right? If you can take 5 equals 3.14 and r equals 2.7, right? Now you substitute, right? Then the equation here is b equals 8 upon 3 5r cube. Now you get the logarithms of both sides. Logarithms of both sides. V logarithm, open the bracket, 8 upon 3, you know the value of 5 is 3.14 times 2.7 to the power 3. Right. There was steps. You must write all that 5 steps. ලකුණු පහ හම්බෙන්නේ ඒකටනේ. Right. හරියට ලියන්න. Then according to that, using the laws of the logarithm, you can expand these multiplications and divisions. Right. Then you know that logarithm. So you write that logarithm. Right? Logarithm of v equals logarithm of 8. Don't simplify it. මේවා simplify කර ඉන්න ගියොත් ඉතින් එහෙනම් වැඩක් නැහැ. Right. Then you write logarithm of 8 plus logarithm of 3.14 plus 3 times of logarithm 2.7 minus logarithms of 3. That is the expanded form. Using the laws of the logarithms, you can expand it using the addition and the subtraction. You know that all the terms in the numerator, then you can join them using the addition. And in the denominator by subtracting. Right. Then here is the expanded form. Now you find the logarithms of these each terms, right? Then how you find that is 80. The characteristic is 0 point. When one digit here, the characteristic of that is 0. When there are 2 digits, that is in the whole number part, you write 1 as the characteristic, 3 now, 2 as the characteristic. Then you write down the mantissa part, the logarithm. Here you find 31, 4, again 0 point. Then the other one, 3 multiply. 3 multiply. Right? You find the logarithm and you next you find the antilog of that. Logarithms of b. After doing all these calculations, all at 0.5625. 5625. Then to find the value, this is not the answer. To find the value of b, you get that antilog of 0.5625. Then you know that first you neglect this characteristic. You know that you find where's this 5625 in the logarithmic table. Then you consider the characteristic. When there's 0 as the characteristic, you separate 1 digit from the first. 1 digit. You separate 1 digit. When it is 1, you separate 2 digits. When that is 2, you separate 3 digits. Right? Then you can complete. Right. Next one. Right? Using the logarithmic table, find the value of 1 upon square root of 0.75. Then square roots t equals 2 square root of L upon G out. Then we find the value of t here. This is square root. Right? Then again you substitute these numerical values for this L, G, and 5. Then you can, using the logarithmic tables and the laws, you find the value. Then you find, you take it as P or using any other letter, that is 0.75. Make it steps calculations පැත්තකින් කරන්න නැත්නම් හිතින් කරන්න ලෑස්ති වෙන්න එපා සමහරලාට එක ඩිජිට් එකක් හරි මිස් වුණොත් අපරාධයි right ඒක කිසිම ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ ඔයගොල්ලෝ බෑ කියලා හිතන්නේ නැහැ right ඒක කොහොමද clearly ලියන්න then you get the same as the first you get the logarithms of both sides logarithms of p equals logarithms of 1 upon square root of 0.75. right? Then you write this using the laws. We can divide it into two parts. Logarithms of 1 minus logarithm of square root of 0.75. You know this square root is half. The index of that value is half, right? Okay, then you know now you find the logarithms there. Yani logarithms of 1, yani half of logarithm of 0.75. Now you find the logarithms. Then what is that? That is 10. 0 point. The characteristic is 0. 0, 0, 0, 0. Then you write 4 zeros there. Half times, here's the product, 75. 75 minimum, 8751. Then what is the characteristic? That is the number less than 1. You know that when there is a 1 0, then you write that is negative 1. That is the characteristic is bar 1. Bar 1 point, right? Bar 1 point, 8751. 8751. Then you simplify. Then by only 0 it can get the negative values. Doesn't matter there, right? 0.0000 minus, then you simplify. How you simplify this negative value by this positive? 8751. Then you divide it by 2. Right, we place this decimal point first. Now we know that this is not positive. That is negative 1, right? Then when you divide this negative 1 by the positive, then the remaining the negative 1. Then can you get this negative 1 to this with this 8? One is 18, there is 18. Okay, 1 is negative, 8 is positive. එහෙම වෙන්න බෑනේ. Right, එහෙනම් එයත් එක්ක යන්න වෙන්නේ positive. Positive 1. Now, how do you get this? Right, now negative 1. 1 is not divisible by 2. And now you find the closest multiple of 2. The closest multiple. Right, the closest multiple of these 2 is negative 2. You ready කියලා ගන්න. වැඩි කියන්නේ මම negative එක නෙමෙයි කියන්නේ. Only the consider only that numbers, not the sign. This is less than negative 1, right? Then this is the closest one. And next you arrange that negative 1 here. To get negative 1, you should add positive 1 to this negative 1. Negative 2, right? Then this get cancelled. Now you divide it separately. Now we then 1 එකක් හදාගත්තා එහාට ගෙනියන්න. Positive 1. Right, now you divide negative 2 by 2, that is negative 1. Now you get this 18 together. Then how many 2s are there in this 18? 9, 3, right? That is, that is 3, 6, 15, 7, that is 11, 5. 9, 3, 7, 5. Then bar 1.9375. Now you subtract 0.0000 minus bar 1. Now 0.9375. Then you get the difference of these two. Right. Then this is 5, 2. That is 6, 0. Then what is the remainder here? After getting positive 1 from this 0, what is the remainder there? That is negative 1. 0 again tamai positive 1 ගන්න. එතකොට negative 1 plus positive 1 tamai 0. එහෙනම් here the remaining negative 1. Negative 1 minus negative 1. Oh. Negative 1 minus negative 1. This becomes positive. That is 0. Then the value is logarithm of p equals, you can use any other method here, 0.0625. මෙහෙම ගත්තාම ඔයාලට ලේසි. Right. Now you find the value of P, antilog of 0.625. එක පේන්නේ නැතුව ඇති 0.0625. ඒ කියනවා පේ 1 point P equals that is 0. Then the antilog of that 625 1155. 1155. Now 1.155. ඊළඟට geometry. හරි වැදගත්ම ගණන් දෙක. හරි right ඔයගොල්ලෝ අනිවාර්යෙන් මේක practice කරන්න ඕනේ. right අනිවාර්යෙන් එකක් හරි කරන්න වෙනවා. You have to complete one of these two questions definitely. Right? Okay. And remember, then when you do this proof of this, first remember you draw a figure and you have to mark all the data, right? Given data in the figure, in the diagram, right? And you have to write in words data, you write in words. Next you write to be proved, that to require to prove in words. And when there are any construction, then you have to write down that the construction you do in words. And last you do that proof. Right? In words, you have to write these three. Right? Okay. Now, according to this figure, there is no parts. Questions, they come. Two types. Then one is given as there is no any other parts of that question. Then directly, then anyhow, that you have to show that this one. And no any other parts there, no the questions. Then show that PQ equals 1/4 of DE. Take out you show that PQ equals 1/4 of DE. And the other one, look at the 11th one. There are three parts. Right? Parts or the kadalame, make him and a make, kill him a din. Then we find the process. Right. Now, according to that, you draw the figure first. In the parallelogram A, B, C, D, the line drawn through B parallel to the diagonal AC. Right. First, you draw this parallelogram. A, B, C, D. That is a parallelogram. Right. In line drawn through B, parallel to the diagonal AC. Now here is the diagonal. This is the diagonal AC. Then you draw a line through B, parallel to the diagonal AC. This is parallel to the diagonal AC, right? The intersects the produced DC. Produce DC. You get the direction, produce DC. DC direction. Vectors then, if not overload the direction, the CD direction now. You produce to the left direction. Here you produce it to the right direction. a DC direction, right? And produce DC at E. This is point E, right? Straight line AE and BC intersect at P. AE and BC. This is BC. This is point P. Right, that is the figure. Right. Then the midpoint of AC is Q. The midpoint of AC is Q. This is Q. These two lines are equal. And Q is a midpoint, right? Represent the above information in a suitable diagram and show that PQ equals 1/4 of DE. 1/4 of DE. Then කොහෙන්ද පටන් ගන්න? කිසිම දෙයක් නැහැ, right? Then how you represent? PQ equals 1/4 of DE. That is 1/4 of DE. Now, midpoint theorem again, right? Yes, there is a trend, and you can join this first. That is PQ. Now, what is that line PQ? Now we join that PQ first. Right. Then you show that this PQ equals 1/4 of DE. Right. You know, first you make the relation between PQ and AB. And you find the relation between AB and DE. And then you can build up this relation, the equation. Right? That is the way of that. Right? Then you know that ABCD is a parallelogram. Then what can you say about this ABEC? ABEC. That one also a parallelogram. Right? You know that ABEC is a parallelogram, right? Opposite sides of that quadrilateral are parallel. You know that in a parallelogram that we have completed the characteristics of the parallelogram as the theorem, right? You know that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, opposite angles are equal. By the diagonal divides that area into two equal parts, and the other one, what is that? By the diagonals, right? No, the diagonals are bisected. Right, the diagonals bisected. That divides into two equal parts. The diagonals are bisected. Right, of the parallelogram. Diagonals bisected. Right. And what are conditions satisfied to be a parallelogram? To be a parallelogram. You know that in a quadrilateral, if opposite sides are equal, you can consider that as a parallelogram. If opposite angles are equal, you consider that quadrilateral as a parallelogram. And if the diagonals bisect each other, you consider that as a parallelogram. And the other one, that is a different one. What is that? If one pair of opposite side is equal and parallel, then you consider that the quadrilateral as a parallelogram. Got it? Right, those are the theorems. Then there are 48 theorems. Then මම හිතනවා ඔක්කොම පුළුවන් නේ. Then තව ඉතින් සතියට මොනවද නේද? 48 theorems, right? Yes. Then now you can show that you write all that reasons. Then when you write this, if you write that any statement there, you mention the reason there. You write down the reason you use, right? ABEC, you know that ABEC is a parallelogram. The reason, what is the reason there? Opposite sides are parallel. Make AB parallel to DC. That DC is produced to E. so that E is on the same straight line, right? And then we did this construction AC parallel to BE, that we have drawn this line to be parallel to AC. Right, then you can consider ABEC is a parallelogram. Right. Then on the right, now we know that that is a parallelogram. And what about this BC and AE? BC and AE, what are they? Those are the diagonals of this parallelogram. Diagonals. Right, now you prove that, we already proved it as a parallelogram. And now you know the features, the properties of the parallelogram. What are they? The diagonals bisect each other. The diagonals bisect each other. And කියන්න පුළුවන් පුතේ PC equals PB. And the diagonals bisect each other. AP equals PE also. They got equal, right? Then we prove BC equals BP. Okay. Right. Now you can consider the triangle. By considering the triangle ABC, right? What can you say? This Q is a midpoint of AC. P is a midpoint of BC. Right. Now what is the theorem? Right, then you can use here, what is the theorem? Midpoint theorem. What is this midpoint theorem? You know that the line drawn, right, the line drawn through that midpoints of two sides of a triangle that is parallel to the third side. Here the AB is the third side. PQ is parallel to this AB, and that is equals to half of AB. That is the theorem. You know the converse one. What is that, the converse one? The line drawn from midpoint of one side parallel to the other side bisect the third side. That is the converse of that theorem. Okay. Right, then you can show that PQ parallel to AB and then you write down discussion PQ equals half of AB. Reason midpoint theorem. මේක තමයි අර මේක විතරයි මම midpoint theorem කියලා හරියම කෙටියෙන් ලියන්න එකම theorem. You write the theorems in words, right? Then you can write it as midpoint theorem. Then no need to write that the definition, right? The theorem in words, right? Midpoint theorem. PQ equals half of AB, right? Then he show that PQ equals half of AB, right? But he show that PQ equals 1/4 of DE. Right. Now, you know that ABCD is a parallelogram, right? Then you know, then you can write it as but however, yes, things. Therefore, like they are don't need to use therefore, but right. However, then you can use it. AB equals DC. Now, opposite sides of a parallelogram. Opposite sides of a parallelogram. You write down. Opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. And similarly, then we already proved that AB is also a parallelogram. Then we are and AB equals CE. Then again, the opposite sides of the parallelogram, ABEC. Therefore, DC equals CE. DC equals CE. And CE is the midpoint, right? Then you can make it DE. Again, PQ, that is AB equals DC and CE. But DC equals DE, but DE equals, DE equals twice of CE or DC. You can take one of these two lengths. ඒ දෙකෙන් එකක් ගන්න. මොකද දෙකම equal නේ. කැමති කෙනෙක් ගන්න මෙතන. කමක් නැහැ. DC or CE. මම ගන්නවා twice of DC. DE equals DC plus CE නේ. ලියන්න. CE. Then these two values are equal. Then you can write DE equals twice of DC, or you can write DE equals twice of CE. Right, you can write down this equation. DE equals twice of DE. Right. Then DC, but DC equals AB. DC equals AB. Twice of AB. DE equals twice of AB. Then you write, you can make AB the subject, then you write, therefore, AB equals, you divide DE by 2 upon 2. And then you write it half times of DE. Now substitute half of DE for this AB. Then PQ equals half times, half is a constant. Now substitute the value of AB. That is half of DE. PQ equals 1/4 of DE. Right. That is the proof. Okay. Right. Now you get the 11th question. Then you write down this. Right. Okay, next one, the 11th one, right. PQ is a diameter of the circle with center O, right. That is the figure. X and Y are 2 points in either sides of PQ. The tangent drawn to the circle at Q intersect the produced PX and PY at L and M respectively. Then here is the tangent drawn, right, at Q, then produced PX and produced PY. Intersect at L and M respectively. PX, L, right. Copy the diagram and mark the information given above in it. Show that L, X, Y, M is a cyclic quadrilateral. You show that L, X, Y, M is a cyclic quadrilateral. Yes. Now you know that the feature of the cyclic quadrilateral. Why you name it as the, then what is the definition of the cyclic quadrilateral? That all that 4 points are concyclic. Concyclic. All that 4 points are located on the same circle. Then you name it as the cyclic quadrilateral. Right. And then we did then we have completed the 2 theorems related to that cyclic quadrilaterals. What are they? You know that the opposite angles of the cyclic quadrilateral are supplementary. That means the sum of that opposite angles is 180. And the other one, when a side is produced of the cyclic quadrilateral, the exterior angle formed that by producing a side of the cyclic quadrilateral, that is equals to the interior opposite angles of the cyclic quadrilateral. Then those are the 2 theorems that we have done, right? Okay. Then you use these features. Then to represent it as to show that you prove this figure, the quadrilateral is a cyclic quadrilateral. You show that the sum of that opposite angles is 180. Right. Then to do this proof of this kind of figures, right, then you take the algebraic symbol, right, to represent one angle. That is an unknown term. හැබැයි මම හිතනවා ඒක හරිම ලේසි වෙනවා ඔයාලට proof කරන්න. You take that one angle, හැබැයි ගන්න ඕනේ suitable angle, most appropriate angle. වඩාත්ම ගැලපෙන කෙනා ගන්න ඕනේ. අපේ ගානට උඩටම ගැලපෙන කෙනා. Then you name it as X, O, Y, O, A. You can use any other letters there. Right? ඒක තමයි මම හිතන්නේ ලේසි. Right? ඔයාලට angle එකක් ගන්නකොට QP R angle equals to R M S ටිකක් අපහැදිලි. Yes, we get unknown term. Now we know that. Now let's start this. PQ is a diameter. PQ is a diameter. Right? And PXQ, right? That is the angle subtended at the semicircle. That is the angle subtended at the semicircle. PYQ, so the angle subtended at the semicircle, that is 90. You know that the angle subtended at the semicircle is a right angle. That is a right angle. Yes. Then you show that this pair or this pair, the sum of that pair is 180. Taking a cup gun. Right. Mangana, then now you know that this is 90. This one also 90. Yeah, 90. The remaining one. The sum of that PM is a straight line. PL is a straight line. And on the other magnitude also 90. On the tamai magnitude එක ගන්න. මම ගන්නවා මෙයා as X. That is as X. Right. Then you consider the triangle XQL. XQL triangle. You can find, and I very unknown, you have to write. What is the angle? You get that as X. You write that in words. Then you write, let's take XQL equals X. You write down. අපිට X වලින් ලියන්න බෑ. ඒක අපේ term එක. දැන් අන්තිමට then we have to remove all that unknown terms, right? That is X. Now we know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle that is 180. And now we know that XLQ plus 90 plus X equals 180. Then you make X the subject. No, this one in terms of X. XLQ equals 180 minus 90 plus X. Then that is 180 minus 90 minus X. This you can simplify 90 minus X. And the magnitude here is 90 minus X. Right. Then ප්‍රශ්නය. Now මෙයා ගත්තා නම් you find this total magnitude. That is 90. But we have to find this angle. You find that angle here. ඔකට තමයි sum එක 180 ද කියන්න බලන්න ඒක ගන්න වෙනවා. Yes. This is X. Then this is a tangent. ML is a tangent drawn at Q. Then here is the angle when we consider this the chord XQ chord and tangent. This is the angle in between that chord and the tangent drawn at this tangential point. X. That is equals to XPQ. The angles in the alternate segment equal. The angles in the alternate segments are equal. Right. That is X. Now, X now, what is the magnitude here? That one also X. And the angles in the same segment. The angles in the same segment. That is X. Now you can find the value of X, Y, M. What is the value of X, Y, M? You write down all that theorems. The steps are X, Y, M equals 90 plus X. Right. Now check whether the sum of these two, right, equals to 180 or not. Right. Then you get the sum of these two angles. XLQ plus XYM equals 90 minus X plus 90 plus X. Then what happened to this X get cancelled? 90 plus 90, that is 180. Now you can take the sum of the opposite angles of this quadrilateral is 180. So we can consider this quadrilateral as a cyclic quadrilateral, right? Now that is a cyclic quadrilateral. X, then you can prove that LXYM is a cyclic quadrilateral. The sum of that angles, that is the reason the opposite angles of that quadrilateral are supplementary. That is the reason. Okay. Now you get the second one. Then you write down this. I'll give 1 minute to write this. Right. Now what is the second one? Yes. Show that PQM QM and QYM. QYM are equiangular. Equiangular. Right. Then you know that the two angles are given. They are equal. P by Q equals QYM. They are equal. Right. Then no need to show that all that three angles are equals to three angles of another triangle. Then you take only two angles. The remaining also be equal. ඒක කොහොමද equal? එහෙනම් we show that two angles of that one triangle are equals to two angles of another triangle. Right? Okay. Then on one is given. Then what is the other one? Then we find that the remaining one. Then again, the same as that the x and this one, right? When we get this as y, YQXM as y, what is that? Here the angle in between a chord and the tangent, that is one. And that is equals to the angle in the alternate segment. Now that is also one. Right, then two angles are equal, then remaining one, right, are equal. Right, then we can write YQM equals QPY. Right, then we write down the reason. This is given. This is the angle in the alternate segment. In an alternate segment are equal. Right. Then therefore, the remaining one, PQY and PQY equals QMY. Therefore, PQM and QYM are equiangular triangles. They are equiangular triangles. Right. Then they will show that using above, prove that MQ squared equals MP times MY. With dot taker, that is times, right? Okay. Then you get, right, the figures. You draw these two triangles separately. Now we know that in an equiangular triangles, right, the sides, the corresponding sides are proportional. That is the theorem. The corresponding sides of that equiangular triangles are proportional, right? That means then you draw these two figures separately. Count the PQM. PQM. When they form, make the band. That's all lazy. PQM. Right? This is Y and this is, oh no. Then here we have to show that PQM. Then we use it only this one. PYQ. Then here you get PQM and PYQ. Then we use only the two. MQ1. Yes. QPM, that is equals to no, PQM. This is not the angle. This is not the angle. That is not the right one. Here we get this one and this one. This is 90. When you get P by Q here. That is sorry, that is not P by Q, that is PQL. PQL, that is 90. Right? Then here that is the angle between a tangent and the radius. Radius, that is perpendicular. You know, PQM 90. Then you draw the other triangle. This one, QYM. Right. Right. Here's the triangle. Maybe another thing. Right. Then you write Y. This is Y. Then you draw these two triangles separately. Now you can make the equations, right? Easily. Clear the clear? මේක තියෙන්නේ මෙයාගේ ඇතුලේ. ඉතින් ඔයාලට sides ලියන්න ගියාම හරියම පැහැදිලි. එහෙනම් you draw them separately. Then වෙන් කරන්න. Sort out this. මෙහෙම වෙන් කරලා අඳින්න. You draw these two figures. And remember, you write these equal angles there. Right. දැන් මෙයාගේ y කිව්වේ. උඩ මෙයා y. මෙයා y. This is 90. මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා ගත්ත මේක 90. ආන්නේ. This is 90. The angle between a tangent and the radius, that is equals to 90. But then we already proved it. Make a 90 comma. Make a 90. Make a gun 90. Right. Here is 90. Then you make it in MQ square. You can MQ take up numerator denominator MQ square. Then when these two angles are equiangular, the sides of them are proportional. මේක තියෙන terms ටික ගන්න. MP තියෙනවා. MP and MY. Okay, now write down that. Yes. Then එකක ගන්නවා නම් එයාගේ ඔක්කොම හැම වෙලේම numerator. දැන් ලියන්න. MP upon MP. What is the corresponding side of MP? Yeah, the angle with 1. MQ. Equals MQ. MQ. And MY. මෙයාට corresponding right angle. MY. Right. Now you get the cross multiplication. I'm gonna cross multiplication. MP times MY equals MQ times MQ. Then you can write MQ squared equals MP times M1. Right. MP times M1. Right. MQ squared. These two are equiangular. That is the reason. Right, ඔයාලට ලේසි ඔන්න ඔහොම කරන එක අනිවාර්යෙන් වෙන මැද ගන්න. එතකොට ලේසි ඔයාලට. Right. ඔහොම ගන්න කවොත් එහෙම කරන්න. Okay, the last one. Right. Set. අනිවාර්යෙන් calculations කරන්න ඕනේ. නිකන් answer කිව්වට ලකුණු හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. That is Colombo. Yes, here is the shaded region. This is 12. Yes. Following incomplete Venn diagram represent the information about 160 students. That is the universal set. The total number of students, right, who qualified for the medical faculty and the way they applied for Peradeniya, Jaffna and Colombo medical faculties, right? Copy the Venn diagram into your answer script. All the students who applied for Jaffna medical faculty applied for the Peradeniya medical faculty too. Right, and what is that? Again, all the elements in set Jaffna, right, belongs to the elements in the setting Peradeniya faculty. Again, the faculty of Jaffna, the Jaffna faculty, the students who applied Jaffna, right, is a subset. That is a subset of, right, the Peradeniya faculty, the students who applied Peradeniya faculty, right? Then that is a subset. And now you name this B as Jaffna. That is Jaffna. This is Peradeniya. Right. This is Colombo. That is Colombo. Right. Now you represent this data. Include the following information and complete your Venn diagram. 3/4 of the total number of students applied at least one of the above medical faculties. Now there are 3 medical faculties, Peradeniya, Jaffna and Colombo. Right, there are 3 of them. 3 of these 160 students applied at least one of these 3. What is this 3/4 of 160? 3/4 of 160. That is 120 students. Now 120 students, right, who applied one of the 3 faculties. The rest of them are not applied for these 3 universities, 3 faculties. Right, 40 outside of that 3 sets, but it belongs to the universal set. That is 40. The sum of these 4, all that regions should be equals to 120. All that, the values in all these regions should be equals to 120. Right? Okay. Next, among 60 students who applied for Peradeniya and Colombo, and Peradeniya and Colombo. And what is that? And you can go to the intersection. Ona, that is union. Peradeniya and Colombo. Then what is the region it represents? Peradeniya and Colombo. This is the region, the intersection of Peradeniya and Colombo. Intersection, right? 60, but in 60 students, Colombo medical faculties, 25 students applied Jaffna medical faculty too. What are they? What is this 25? What can you say about these 25 students? They applied. These 25 students applied all that 3 faculties. All these 3 faculties. That is the intersection of that 3 sets. Then what is the region here? This is the region that intersect all that 3 sets. That is 25. The sum of these 2 regions equals to 60. And the remaining one is 35. The sum should be equals to 60. That is 35. Okay. Next, the number of students who applied only for Peradeniya medical faculties 3 times as the students who applied only Colombo medical faculty. Then Pute, you have to describe all these regions in words. Right? You can describe them. Here, this is. What is this? This is the students who applied Colombo only. This one. Here, the students who applied 35. The students who applied Peradeniya and Colombo only. Peradeniya and Colombo only. Here, the students who applied 3 of these faculties. Right, that is the common one. Here, the students who applied Peradeniya and Jaffna only, shaded one. And this region, how you describe it? The students who applied Peradeniya medical faculty only. Only, yes. And the number of students who applied only for Peradeniya medical faculty is 3 times as the students who applied only Colombo medical faculty. That is given, it was given there, that is 12. 3 times of 12, that is 36. Yes, now these are the values. Right, next. Represent the shaded part. It's going to rain. Yes. Represent the shaded part in set notation. Using A, B, and C, find the number of students belong to the shaded part. Then how you represent? It belongs to that A and B, but it does not belong to that set C, except this C. C had right. A intersect B, intersect C complement. C complement. That is the set notation. Yes. Next one. Describe the region A intersect C complement B, right? Again, except B, right? Does not belongs to that B. In words and find the number of students belongs to that region. Belongs to that region. Yes. Right. Then you write down in words there. Right? No, here now there is another question. Sorry. Find the number of students belongs to the shaded part. You get it as X. Now you build up the equations. You represent all the calculations there, right? Then what is that? X plus, this is 60 plus 36 plus 12 equals 120. That is 120. Yes. Then here, X, this is 140. That is 120. All that values that should be equals to 120. Right? Then you can find that is 96. 120 minus 108. Then that is equals to 12. 160 ගන්නවා we are 40 තෝරේ. එම පුළුවන්. We are on that 120. Then x equals 12. Right. Next one. එහෙනම් එනවා ඔක්කොම එන්නේ 148 නේ. 160 minus 148. That is again 12. Then describe the region. A intersect A. This is the intersect C. C. But B complement. Yeah, in the region. Yes. You can describe that in words. How you describe it in words? Here, the students who apply Peradeniya faculty and Colombo faculty only. That is only, right? You use that word. And what is the value? That is, you can subtract 25 from 60. Pennan none make calculations. Right? 60 that is 35. Right? You represent, you show these all the calculations. That is 35. Right? Now, those are the answers for the 12 questions. Right. Then we completed all these 12 questions in this paper, right? Then you do this, you practice these types of questions today, and you must complete that support seminar, right? Then max the end 13, that practice කරන්න. හොඳට කරන්න ඉතින් හැමෝටම ඒ ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා මම wish කරන්නේ, right? Yes, that remember that. Just keep that believing yourself, right? And you will surely achieve each of your goals, right? Good luck for your exam. Do the best, right? Thank you very much. Madam?
Yes, thank you very much, Ms. Vasula, Mrs. Vasula. We greatly appreciate your contribution and your support in increasing the BATS results of our province. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Okay.
Yeah, children, tomorrow you will not have any session, but day after tomorrow you will be having Health Sinhala Media. So we'll meet again day after tomorrow. Okay. Good night, Miss. Okay.